Hey there, Loco Sports fans. Welcome. Wednesday night edition of the Loco Sports Lowdown. We were going to let it ride till Thursday, but here we go again. The weather. We got people moving their games up that we have
Yeah.
Thursday night lights for the second straight week. So we figured we'd get together tonight, preview the games that will be going off on Thursday, look ahead a little bit to Friday, and we'll get together again tomorrow night and preview those while we wait for the scores to come in from the two that get the early jump, and we'll go from there. But how y'all boys doing? I'm Justin Jarrett. We got Wes Kerr. We got Marcus Walsh. We got Max
Sounds
Arad.
a little. The audio seems a little
Yes,
static.
something sounds a little staticky.
Oh, you're staticky
It
on
might be.
I'm coming
Maybe
through
it's
staticky.
me.
I think
It might be
it's-
me.
Yeah, it's Max.
Oh, that's much better. Much better.
Okay.
I
Max
tell you
is
what,
staticky.
it's felt. I was texting JJ earlier. It's felt like it's a week that's been about two. It's been a very, very busy and fluctuating week for me, both, at the station, working 4 days in a row. Actually going to be working some on Friday as well. And then, stuff with home, but bopping, weaving, moving, grooving, wanting to pull my hair out, whatever. It's been a wild week,
Sounds
but
pretty typical.
hanging in there.
Yeah, that sounds
Hanging
familiar.
in there. Hey, the Guardians keep winning, so that makes me happy for sure.
Sure.
Cubs had a bad road trip, and it wasn't so great. And now they got to play the Brewers.
Guardians. Or,
They got a couple get away.
Y'all still hearing that? Maybe it's just. It might be my laptop.
Oh yeah,
Sounds about right.
starting back up again.
yeah, but here we go.
But anyway, we'll keep Max on mute for the moment while he's going to try to fix it. So yeah, it's been a week. We've had some serious weather, and it looks like we may have some more tomorrow night or Friday. So that's why people are moving up. We got two games moved up to Thursday night: Hampton County at Wilson and Whale Branch at Beaufort, and all the rest are sticking with Friday for now. So we'll preview those for you tonight. We'll let you know about any movement in the rankings. We have both the high school league football rankings as well as Skiza putting out football and volleyball rankings. So we can talk about those a little bit. And then a couple other little notes, and then we'll call it a night. Should be a quick one tonight. But we didn't want to do like last week where we got games going on and we're preview everything, and we didn't get to the Thursday games. So we'll get it in tonight. The show brought to you, as always, by Mickelson Law Firm and WHHI TV. Mickelson Law Firm, our original sponsor, been with us since the beginning. They are our official real estate closing attorney and presenting sponsor of our Hilton Head Christian Academy coverage. And you can call on Mickelson Law Firm for all your legal needs. And WHHI TV, our co-custodians of Marcus Walsh, great partners in local sports journalism and the only news station devoted entirely to covering the Low Country. Keep tabs at WHHITV.com or wherever you get your cable or streaming services. They're everywhere.
There's a bunch of them.
Ubiquitous. WHHI.
Plethora.
Indeed. So that has been dispensed with. So we told you which games are moved up. Before we get into previewing those, I thought we'd talk about the rankings.
Yes.
We talked a good bit last week about how Hilton Head was disrespected at number 10. They did climb up to number 7. I thought they might climb a little higher than that. I put them 4th on my ballot. But that top 5 is pretty crowded. So I kind of
I had them 4th, but it is not. I mean, it is picking through very similar quality teams when you're that.
Yeah, we need more to happen to kind of sort that out.
But the Hilton wins certainly seemed impressive, but there's some quality teams. Irmo still, even despite the loss in week 0, still there at number 5. TL Hanna, all these teams are very good, and so it's going to be
Daphne.
And a lot of there's a lot of upper state teams that are ahead of the.
Yeah, the 4A upper state is going to be really really tough. But the good news for Hilton Head is they only have to beat one of them. They don't have to. They don't have to beat but one of them. So whichever one emerges. So we'll see if they can make it that far.
But no, just looking at these. Obviously, there's a long season left ahead of them, but I think the lower state is there for the taking.
I do too. I really do. I think there's real hope for them to play in a state title game this year, and we'll see if everything. A lot of things have to happen right.
Yep.
You have to stay healthy. Something you have to get some breaks here and there, but it's definitely within the realm of possibility. And I think that's true for Hampton in 1A as well. They stayed at number 4 this week, kind of like 4A. It's a pretty crowded top 5. It's going to be hard to really drop people unless they lose or just don't play well. And it's going to be a lot of teams that win most of their games. So Hampton, they get a chance to make another statement tomorrow night when they go to Wilson, a quality 4A opponent. That'll be a good test for them. And Hilton Head has a big test ahead of them on Friday, going to Bamberg Earhart, defending champs in 1A.
Yes.
Ranked second at the moment, but they were number 1 on my ballot. So that should be a really good one up in Bamberg.
Number 1 as well.
Should be a lot of fun. Looking at the other rankings, Skiza football rankings updated, though I don't know that these are updates for us. Hilton Head Christian still at number 3 in Class 3A. Colleton Prep number 2 in 2A behind Williamsburg Academy, and BA number 5 in the 1A rankings. 1A must be a little shallow because BA has shown a whole lot thus far. But no, other than that, no big surprises there. We expect HHCA and CPA to be right in it to the end. And Skiza volleyball rankings. Hilton Head Christian number 2 in Class 4A, JP2 number 4. So got a couple of good squads there. Should be fun.
Very cool.
All right. So, without further ado, I suppose we'll go ahead and preview these games, and hopefully Max can jump back in here shortly. But we'll start it with the Loco on Loco battle. Whale Branch against Beaufort, both 0-1. Disappointing losses, I would say, for both. Whale Branch falling to their rival Battery Creek 22-6 last week. Beaufort falling to Hardyville 22-20. So this one will be on Ladies Island at the Nest. And this is a game that most years you would just check it off to Beaufort and move right along. But I'm not sure it's quite that easy this year. Like we talked about, Whale Branch showed some mettle in that game. They were down 22-0 early, and they stopped them the rest of the way and put some points on the board. But it was against Battery Creek. And so Beaufort has typically been a little steeper hill to climb.
Yes.
But these Eagles are very young and, didn't do everything especially well last week. So we shall see what that looks like. But I'll let you guys dig in on Whale Branch and Beaufort.
I tell you what, this definitely is going to be an interesting matchup. Whale Branch, still has some talent. Obviously, D. Delaney in his first year as the head coach there. They're going to have to play physical on both sides of the football in order to have a chance to win. And Beaufort with a really tough loss against Hardyville, as you said, JJ, last week. It's a home game for the Eagles. I'm going to take them. I think Beaufort has just a little bit more talent, especially in some key spots. And knowing the way they typically play, especially at home, I really think that they are going to come out, especially with the way things went last week. They're going to have a little bit of a chip on their shoulder, and I look for them to come out with their heads on fire a little bit. I look for Braden Moyd Smalls to make some big plays. I think Isnar is going to get into the game, make some really good plays, and the trenches will be the difference. And I expect Beaufort to have a little bit of an edge there. I'll go Beaufort by a touchdown over Whale Branch. Thinking maybe like a 20-13 type ball game. Good way to get on track at home for the Eagles. I'm taking Bryce Lybrand's Beaufort Eagles to win it.
Well, I said last week was a big one for Beaufort, one they really need to win. This one, they truly have to win because you're looking at a Whale Branch team. That's they're going to be improving as we continue this season, but they certainly were bested by Battery Creek. And credit to the Dolphins for how they showed up. But I think Whale Branch really wanted to see a little bit more from them. You look at Beaufort; they got a tough road ahead of them after this game. They got Hanahan, always a very good opponent. Then you got Hammond, a powerhouse in Skiza. And then you got Battery Creek, which should be a very good game coming up a couple weeks from now. But
I will be there. Max will be joining me.
Yeah, but going back to this one, and Will Branch, I haven't seen much from them to really convince me that they could go into Buford and find a win there, even with an Eagles team that was, limping for a bit, but they found a way to compete and uh, lost by a couple of points. Hardyville, credit to Hardyville for how they showed up. So I think it's an intriguing game. I think that I think Will Branch will play a bit better. I think, but I do think that Buford just has, a little bit more strength up front, as you said, and just a little bit more firepower than Will Branch does. And I think they'll. This is one they absolutely need to have at home, because if they don't win this one, they'll probably be going in Battery Creek 0-4. Any all questions asked. So they need to get this one to just build some momentum right now as you look towards the rest of this non-region schedule. Yeah, they need to put on a good showing here at home and in front of their fans, in front of the Kirkland Crazies at Beaufort, and I expect them to find a way to win by about 10 points or so against the Whale Branch team that is still trying to find its footing under D. Delaney. I think he's going to do some big things down the road, but I think Beaufort takes this one tomorrow night.
Let's see if Max has gotten it worked out. What's up, Max?
I hope I sound better. Hopefully.
Yes.
Not sure.
A little bit. Still tad fuzzy.
Still a little bit of.
It's my laptop. My fan's running
The fan's
really loud.
running. Yeah. I hear you.
So we'll do what I got.
What do you got on Beaufort Whale Branch?
I've said it before the season began. I think Whale Branch was one of the teams I had the most questions about. Even after media day, I just didn't know what to expect out of Whale Branch. And, I think if they hadn't made key mistakes last Friday, I think we would have been talking about a different ball game between them and Battery Creek. But at the same time, I think, I think D. Delaney's trying to figure out, along with Whale Branch as a team, what their culture is, what their, mindset is, what the goals are, and if they got a goal put in place, then they're going to go after it, especially when you got that coaching staff led by D. Delaney. He knows what it means to, put goals together and, try and go after them and achieve those goals. But I think for Beaufort, despite their loss last Friday to Hardyville, I think Beaufort's, I think they learned a few things, some things they can fix and, continue to improve on. I don't think it's going to be an overly exciting game. I think for me, I think Beaufort's probably the better team in terms of they just have more depth. And I think depth could play a factor in this game, especially against Whale Branch. Kind of played a factor against Hardyville. Just Hardyville was able to hold on to that lead throughout the rest of the fourth quarter. But, depth started becoming an issue. And I think it's the same thing here. But the difference is I think Hardyville was better equipped with the skill players that they had. And so I think for that reason, I'm going to go with Beaufort in this one. I think they get the edge over Whale Branch.
Yeah, I think so too. I think Whale Branch will be competitive, certainly. But Beaufort figured some things out in the second half on offense. They looked a lot better on offense in the second half than in the first. Smalls kind of got settled in and got back to doing what he does best, which is freelancing with his legs and getting out of the pocket and stuff. So, I think they're figuring some things out. They're awfully young, especially on defense. I think they're pretty young at Beaufort, but Whale Branch's offense didn't show a whole lot last week. They didn't have a lot of explosiveness to it. So I think Beaufort will be able to outscore them. I a little higher scoring than you thought, Marcus, I think, but I'm thinking maybe like 28-14 type thing, something like that.
Yeah.
But I expect it to be fairly competitive, but I do think Beaufort's got
I'll probably be out there tomorrow night to check on that game and see how it's going out there and get an idea of what both of these teams are going to look like. Because, of course, we have both of the teams on WHHI this season, so it's a good thing for me to get a look at both of these teams, so I get an idea of what we'll be looking at for games upcoming, later on in the season.
Yeah, I was wondering if if Javon will be there. I'm not
I
sure.
I would think that
Don't
he
know.
probably would be, but yeah, I don't
Would
know.
No.
actually he may have it. Hold on.
It's not listed. No, he's got his next
Not,
one listed as Rock Hill at Hilton Head next week.
which
So
should be a fantastic game. So
Tremendous
glad
game. Yeah,
I'm
you're
glad
looking
he's
at one of
covering
the
that
top
game.
teams in
yeah,
5A. Right, I can tell you that
Well, I mean,
Rockville is seventh. Yeah, so both teams will be seventh in the or if right now they still have another week to go,
yeah,
so we'll see what happens. But as of now, they're both seventh in 5A and 4A.
yeah.
So
Rock
should
Hill's
be a good
good.
match.
I mean, Rock Hill took down Irmo last
He did.
Friday. So I mean,
And I'm
they're no
surprised.
joke.
I'm surprised Rockhill didn't move up higher. Although, once again, 5A is loaded.
Yeah. Yeah, and it's
5A
hard
is
to justify moving
Yeah.
people down as long as they play
Right.
well. But yeah, Mr. Pinckney, 2 games moved up. That's why we're previewing them tonight. Beaufort against Whale Branch and Hampton County at Wilson. Both going to be played on Thursday. So getting those previews in for you tonight so that you're ready for tomorrow night. And then tomorrow night we'll preview all the rest of them while we tell you about what happened in these two. So we're all on Beaufort. I think that's the safe pick. How about this one? Hampton County at Wilson. Wilson coming off a loss, but it was a crazy game. They lost to Hartsville 55-34.
Wow.
So they played some offense. They did not play a lot of defense. Hampton dominated Colleton County 33-0. Their running game was on point. They didn't have to throw it a whole lot, but they were pretty effective when they did, which is the MO for Hampton. They're only going to throw it, 4 to 6 to 8 times a game at the
Right.
most, and they're going to complete 50% of them and hit a couple big ones usually because they lull you to sleep with the ground game, and then they'll hit a little play action for you. Their defense played exceptionally well. Their linebacking crew was dominant from everything I've heard, and so I expect that Wilson will probably get some points on the board. This is a pretty explosive offense that put up several touchdowns against Hartsville, but I don't think they're going to be able to get enough stops to keep pace with Hampton. So I'm going to take the Hurricanes on the road, at least a couple of touchdowns, despite it being a quality 4A opponent.
I
think
couldn't
both
agree
teams will find a way
more.
to put points on the board in this game. Hampton's offense looked great, and they're able to really rely on that defense early, and they continue to get stops as this game went along. Uh, as you would expect from Hampton. Now we'll see if they can take it on the road. Wilson, not the best start to the year in my opinion. I think they are still trying to find who they have this year, but I think Hampton's going to rely on that run game, and they were terrific in that first matchup of the season. I expect them to once again lean on Fripp in that running game and be able to spread the ball around as they did well at times with 3 touchdown receptions by the wide receivers in that first game for the Hampton County Hurricanes. So I expect more of the same. I expect the offense to take charge in this one and kind of frustrate Wilson, and I expect Hampton to move to 2-0 with a 2-possession win over the Tigers of Wilson. And I'm excited to see Nigel Fripp compete in person this year. He looks the part. They have continued to generate and churn out some terrific running backs over the years there at Hampton County. You look back to Zion Dobson. You look back to Singletary. They've had some outstanding backfields.
Yeah.
They really have.
Oh yeah.
For sure, and I couldn't agree more with you guys. I was very impressed with Wilson, and the only time that I've seen them last year in the playoff game against Hilton Head, they can really get things going on the offensive side of the football. But one of these days, I am going to cover a Hampton County game when they come to Bluffton or May River or Beaufort,
Amen.
you name it. I'm going to
Yeah.
make sure we can get it done here soon.
Yeah.
They just run, and run some more. I mean, you think of like some great teams from the NFL back in the day, like the '85 Bears or something. That kind of reminds me of Hampton County's mantra and motto that we're going to run, we're going to play tough defense, and we're going to make you look silly. That's what this team does, and I expect them to do it again against Wilson. I think that there'll definitely be a lot of points scored in this one. But I'll take Hampton by a good 2 touchdowns, even though it is on the road. Hampton just going to continue to roll.
Yeah, I think for me, like I agree with Marcus. I mean, when I saw that Wilson team last year alongside you, Marcus, as they played Hilton Head in the playoffs last year, the one thing you can't underestimate is a team from Florence. Because
Right.
for some reason, Florence always seems to have some really good programs out of those three schools, West Florence, South
Yeah, they
Florence,
ball
and of
out.
course Wilson. So you can't underestimate Wilson. I mean, look, Hartsville is a fantastic football program, and not an easy one to start your season off on. And what follows this game for Wilson is not easy. I mean, they got Darlington the next Friday, but then they're on the road at Irmo for a non-region game, and that is a tough one. So if you want to pick up a win, this would be the game to do it if you're Wilson. Look, I think Hampton County's got the potential to be really good this year. I think there's going to be a couple things they need to work on as the season continues, but overall they're a pretty solid team. But in Florence at Wilson, that is a tough atmosphere to play at. So everything's going against Hampton County. I'm going to take Hampton County, but this is much closer than I think a lot of people would expect it to be. I think it's probably a one-score game in my opinion.
All right, I respect it. So we're both we're all homers on both games. We like the Loco tomorrow night. So there you go. You're previewed for those games. Should be a couple of pretty good contests. So hopefully we can find a way to keep up with those some way or another. If you're going to be there, let us know what's going on. Jimmy Searson is going to miss the Buford game tomorrow night because of it moving to Thursday. And
Dun,
Jimmy,
dun, dun, dun.
Is that gonna break like a long streak of
This might blow your mind, but this will only be the
It's crazy.
third Buford High School game Jimmy has missed in his life.
That's crazy.
Holy
Absolutely
moly.
wild.
In
And
his
that's like how
life.
many years?
Didn't he say he's at like 648 games or something
Yes.
like that the other day?
It's
He has
more
been
than
to
that, I believe.
648 Buford
Yeah,
football
this is
games. He
48.
has
Wow.
missed 2 so far. It's going to be number 3.
Make it 3.
Wow.
Because his daughter is
Crazy.
cheering for Carleton Prep's JV, so he's got to be there for that.
Yeah,
You know, I hope
No,
somebody's
you
there
gotta.
to tell us about what happened.
Wow.
Because
Jimmy, man, I know,
is-
Jimmy, you're gonna be crying at that Carleton Prep game because you're gonna be both happy and disappointed that you couldn't show up for a Beaver game. But don't worry, I got your back, man. Don't worry, I'll keep you updated.
There we
all
go.
right, that's awesome.
Yeah, I thought about trying to get over there too, but then I don't know how I get over there and then get back and do the show and all that.
Yeah.
That's a hassle. So you may have to be our eyes and ears over there, Max.
Probably.
You'll already be in that neck of the woods, right?
Yeah, Max is already over
pretty
there.
much. Yeah.
Yeah.
All you got to do is
But
go
I
get you
think
something
the
to
other
eat and
thing-
show a little time.
It's at where is
It
it?
is at
It's at
Buford.
Ladies
Buford.
Island.
Oh,
Yeah.
okay. So I'll have
At Ladies Island.
actually that's yeah. Hopefully I'll have better cell service because whenever I'm at Whale Branch for some
Oh,
reason
yeah,
I can
it's-
never get.
It's rough
The
out there.
service at
Yeah.
Whale Branch is terrible.
May River is the
Terrible.
for me. May River is the spot where I can never.
In the
May
gym,
River and
it's
Whale
true.
Branch are the two worst. Absolutely,
Nope.
May River
100%.
Gym is a complete dead
not only
zone.
that, but the
The
press
Whale
box
branches.
is.
Don't
Okay.
forget about
Very
Ridgeland now,
small.
too. Ridgeland,
Ridgeland's not bad though.
Oh, I get
It's
that.
not nearly as bad
not
as
great.
Whale Branch.
Yeah, Whale Branch is brutal.
It is.
But
Getting a text out to you guys to give you the score whenever I'm at a
Right.
Whale Branch game is the worst.
even that is difficult. Yeah, it's a problem. Rural broadband. We bang that drum once again. Shout out to some sponsors: Hudson's Seafood House on the docks. Great place for seafood sunsets and cocktails on Hilton Head Island. And presenting sponsor of Under the Bus, coming back next weekish. The next
Yeah,
week,
Labor Day's next weekend.
Boys should be back on the air. So check that out on the Loco Media Network. Brought to you by Hudson's Seafood House on the docks. Twinge and Twombly, personal injury attorneys in Beaufort. They've got a rare name, but they provide remarkable service at Twinge and Twombly. We hope you don't have to use them, but if you do, call them. And HHI Windows and Doors. Our old friend Coach Barron hung up the whistle. He's focused on a new kind of screens, improving your view of the Loco at HHI Windows and Doors.
I just talked to him today and had a conversation with him for a few minutes, and more details on that coming soon. But he's doing remarkable stuff there. I actually just watched Jess's last show with him, Your View to the Low Country on WHHI when I was obviously there the last few days, and they've got some great stuff over there. I don't need any new windows or doors, but I may just have to peek in and check it out, and maybe swing a golf club or two because they've got a golf simulator back
Really?
there as well. Yes, they do. Check out Your View to the Low Country on WHHI
Do
TV.
they have some like
You'll find
golf
out
ball
more
proof
about
door
that.
or windows that you can hit them off of?
I don't know about that, but they have a simulator in the back, and it looks pretty dang awesome.
How about that? So yeah, we previewed the two games going off Thursday night. We got a full slate still for Friday night, and we'll preview them in more depth tomorrow. But we got Hilton Head at Bamberg Earhart, as we mentioned, big time matchup there. Number 7 in 4A, number 2 in 1A, defending champs. And there's a lot of trash talking going on the social media about it.
I've
Big
seen it.
Bamberg is been back. Big Bamberg's hyped for this, but we'll make our picks tomorrow night. May River making their season debut at Wando. Should be
That
a
should
good
be
matchup
interesting.
up there. Bluffton making their first journey into Georgia to take on Laney. Hardyville at home against Claxton in what should be a pretty good matchup as well. JP2 travels to Battery Creek, so we'll see. I did a little research, boys. The Dolphins have not started 2-0 since, let me look this up. This was their first time to open the season with a win since 2020 when they beat Academic Magnet 45-7. But they finished 2-5 that year. They haven't had a winning season since 2002 when they went 7-6.
Whoa!
We're 6-6 in 2012,
Mm.
but they didn't finish with a winning record, just a 500 record, and they haven't started 2-0 since 1985. But the
Holy-
second win that year
Wow.
was a forfeit. So if you want to actually find the last time they won their first two games like outright, you got to go back to 1980. How about
Wow.
that?
Lord of
Yeah.
mercy!
Holy smokes!
Goodness
Golly.
gracious.
That's
It would be historical if they.
there was
It would be very
one
historical.
person that was alive in 1980 that is on this panel, and it ain't me.
It's me. I was
It's you.
I was 2.
Yep.
So, and I'd never heard of Battery Creek or Beaufort County, South Carolina at that
I wasn't
time.
even a thought in God's eyes.
Yeah, both
so,
of you weren't even a thought. My
Yeah.
parents weren't even quite married yet.
Yeah.
They got
Yeah,
married
I was
in
a babe.
'81, and then I
So,
came 7 years later.
Then we got
Thereabouts.
Thomas Hayward at Colleton Prep, HHCA at Wilson Hall, which will air on WHHI. Thanks to
Yes, it
the,
will.
the Sumter area
Big
feed.
game.
Interesting.
Hilton Head Prep at Cross Schools, which is a very interesting
Ooh.
matchup. You still
Yeah,
planning to
for
be
sure.
there, Marcus?
I will be there for show.
Oh,
For
I
show,
will
I'll
probably-
be there.
I will probably be there as well.
And Patrick Henry at Beaufort Academy. So that's
That's
a
also
good
an
one.
interesting game.
Yeah, that's a good one. That's a fun one.
Yeah.
Two good fan bases on Merritt at Merritt Field should be fun.
Mhm.
I don't know. I thought you might go to JP Battery Creek, Max, but
I can't. At this point, I saw JP2 as of right now. I don't know if I really want to watch them play football
Touche.
at the moment. You know,
touche, but
Not
I hate
great.
saying that because if Shane Milligan's watching, I do love you, Shane. I love you very much, but I can't. I just can't. I
can't subject
can't.
yourself to that.
I don't want to. I don't want to be even more frustrated than I
Oh,
already am.
no, I mean, I think that game could be pretty competitive.
It could be, but I don't know, man. If Whale Branch is, if that Whale Branch Batter game, if that shows how bad Whale Branch is, then maybe it is a competitive game. But from what I saw at a Battery Creek, they capitalized on those opportunities that was given to them. So I don't know. It's
Yeah, but
interesting.
They really only had like one drive. Like they had a pick six and then they had a short field. So
It was just a weird. It was just a weird game in general.
it was.
I call-
Also, Battery Creek was apparently down like 8 to 10 players who were suspended from a fight in a scrimmage before.
Well, if
so,
those players are back, then
yeah, so it could be they could be better even than we thought they were.
It is an interesting matchup for sure. When both coaches were in year 2, I called the matchup between
Yeah.
Battery Creek and JP2, in which Battery
that's
Creek
right.
won 41-26. That was Ed Susie's first win as the head coach of Battery Creek, and that was a great game.
Yeah.
I kind of think, and obviously we're not picking it yet, but JP2 is going to have to step up, and they have the athletes to do it, but
No doubt.
they're going to have to prove that they can do
Well,
it
see, that's
that's
my
the
biggest-
thing. Correct.
That's my biggest problem. That's my biggest problem with them. They haven't
Well,
stepped
yeah,
up. They haven't shown
obviously.
me that JP2 team I saw from last season.
Right.
Because
I
that
completely
JP2
agree.
team, that team impressed me. But they have a lot of those players from last year returning this year. And from that game I saw against Hillman Christian, I expected that game to be a
We
lot
saw.
closer.
That's why
We
I
saw,
agree with you
yeah.
so much. I
And
was there with you.
I expected that game to be closer than what it was. And I
No
just
doubt.
watched JP2 pretty much do nothing. I mean, on both sides of the ball. I watched the
Yep.
defense not be able to tackle players. I watched the offense make mistakes left, right, and center. And I have a feeling that was kind of the case for them on Friday against Augusta Christian. Otherwise, I think that would have been a closer game as well. So like for me, it's JP2 hasn't figured out how not to make mistakes on the offense and how to tackle on defense.
Yeah.
And hopefully they figure that stuff out, because I think this team is a lot better than what I've seen from these past 2 weeks. I'm just waiting for for them to put the
it
foot down
together.
and say, all right, enough's enough. Let's play a football game.
Yeah.
Yep. Yeah. Well, this would be a good week to do it.
It would be.
I
It'd
think
be
if
a
they
very
play
good week to
well,
do
they
it.
can stay in that game and have a chance. Ray Alonso may be picking up that Battery Creek game for us on Friday.
Attaboy,
Good
Ray.
deal.
Those old stomping grounds and check that one out.
I love Ray.
So
He's
yeah,
an
we got
awesome
some good
guy.
matchups. Got a few Loco on Locos. One tomorrow night, and then JP2 Battery Creek, and Thomas Hayward Carleton Prep, Hilton Head Prep Cross, and Patrick Henry BA. It's like all Loco on Loco except for HHCA Wilson Hall and the Skeezer ranks. So it'll be fun. So that is the bulk of what we have tonight. I also, you noted it the other night, Max, but Roman Benjamin with a really nice game in his IMG debut, 3 receptions, 102 yards, and 2 touchdowns. So
Yeah.
Bobcats definitely going to miss him this year. And
Yeah. He would have been a real vital piece to Bluffton. He's actually playing for the junior national team. So he's on the team just below that top team. They got like 3 different football teams at IMG, and he plays in that second tier team, I guess is what you want to call it. And of course, the national team plays all those big name schools and travels across the country and all that stuff. But if he keeps putting in the effort and he keeps showing up like that, he may get bumped up to the national team before the end of the year, and you never know.
Yeah.
Yep.
But yeah, really good game for him. Fantastic game. I saw a couple clips from it, and I was like, yep, that's Roman Benjamin. I remember that kid.
He's crafty. And then a tragic note from just outside our coverage area. I don't know if you guys saw this, but Jaden Odom, rising star offensive lineman at Baptist Hill, died in a house fire. What day was that? Early yesterday morning. Just 15 years old, just tragic. And Coach Marion Brown said, we're planning on playing this Friday. They came together and decided to dedicate this season to him. So the team decided to go ahead and play Friday, and they're dedicated.
What was the cause of that fire if it was yesterday morning? I would have thought
I know, it was in Hollywood. You never do know. It said early yesterday morning, so it could have been an overnight storm or something.
It could have been, because I know there was a fire
killed in a fire in Bluffton.
Bluffton,
yeah.
So that's wow. Yeah, that's incredibly sad. Condolences to Baptist Hill and that entire family, and that's just that's really tough. I did see that this morning, and it was really difficult to read, and and he was a rising star. I saw some of the stats from that kid when he was playing JV and stuff like that, and he was a really good player. So it's tragic to have such a young life taken away, and when you have your whole life put out in front of you, and I've seen that more times than I can completely imagine, and a lot of the kids around here and some that we all know. So it's never easy to see an article about a kid who was too young to leave this world.
Yeah, just brutal. But best wishes to his teammates as they tried to, make a great story out of a tragedy and dedicate the season to him this year. few other games around the outer Loco, the Charleston area that got moved up to Thursday. Hanahan at Kingstree, Stall at Orangeburg Wilkinson, Woodland at Cross, not Cross Schools, but the other Cross, the Trojans.
Cross
Should be a good game,
Trojans.
actually.
South
Should be a
Florence
good
at
game.
James Island.
Oh, Lord. Oh, pray for South Florence, man. I saw the clips
James Island's
because
pretty good.
James Island put a whopper on Oceanside last Friday.
Yeah, they
Absolutely destroyed them. So if Oceanside couldn't beat James Island, good luck South Florence, man. That's a tough game.
Right.
Also, that Cross Timberland game should be very good as well. Cross is pretty solid this year.
Oh, here you go. Colleton County B team. So I'm guessing that's below JV, like a freshman prep team.
Yeah, probably.
They beat Hanahan 12-0 tonight.
Hey,
Wow, nice.
And the,
good.
Yeah. So good for them.
Good win.
Yeah, that is good.
Also
I don't know
saw
what B team football looks like, but
the future. That's what it is. It's the future. I did see a couple volleyball scores, specifically Hilton Head Christian. They seem, I know it's early in the season, but they're seemingly pretty solid because they played Beaufort and Ashley Ridge the other night in a tri match and beat them both. Nice. So, I don't know what Beaufort.
They're ranked second in the SKISA rankings, whatever that.
Yes, I saw that. But they're currently, as if I'm remembering correctly, undefeated. And Beaufort's had some pretty solid volleyball programs the last few years, so, it's a pretty solid win. Ashley Ridge, I think, has been a little bit better at volleyball the last couple of years as well, so, 2 good wins against high school league teams for Hilton Head Christian.
I mean, a 4A and a 5A, so they're doing something there.
Well, they beat Beaufort in, I think it was 2-1 in favor of Hilton Head Christian, and then they beat Ashley Ridge in straight sets, so...
Okay.
2-0. So, keep an eye on Hilton Head Christian volleyball because they may be legit this year.
Yep, looks like it. And that's the bulk of it. That's all the news. So, shout out to Reverence Wrestling Club, our official wrestling sponsor and presenting sponsor of the Loco Grind, coming back at you this late fall and winter during wrestling season. We'll check out the Loco Grind presented by Reverence Wrestling Club and Jay's Barbershop, the place to be in Ridgeland, whether you need a haircut or not. So I guess that brings us quite early to our parting thoughts. Let's see if we can get them in 22 minutes. What do you got, Marcus?
I think we can. Tell you what, it's always fun when you get to this part of the year and we're talking football and whatnot, but another big event that's going on is the Little League World Series in Williamsport, and I believe Ohio ended up winning in their matchup that they were just in, and that would mean, I believe, that they end up getting to the semis for the U.S. That's great stuff out of the Great Lakes, if that indeed did happen. And I just looked at my TV.
Yeah, go ahead.
I just looked at my TV, and it was over because they had tennis on now, so I don't know exactly what happened, but I know Ohio was winning for sure in that matchup. I mentioned earlier the Guardians keep on winning, which makes this guy very happy no matter what's going on.
Ohio won 11-2, and they ousted our girl Kinley Rasmus.
Where's
I
that
was
Ohio
just about to
team
mention.
from?
I was just about to mention her because what a tremendous performance! Broke the Little League World Series hits records for female for all time. And she was just spectacular on the mound as well.
Yeah.
Got a cannon.
Yeah. 14 strikeouts in the tournament, which
Oh.
matched Monet Davis for the most strikeouts by a girl in the tournament. So
that's wild.
She is the daughter.
She almost went yard the other night. She was like
I'm not
5
finished.
feet from going yard.
She's the daughter of Corey Rasmus, who pitched in the majors, and the niece of Kobe Rasmus, who's an outfielder in Major League Baseball.
Yep.
Yes.
So if you did that last name sounds familiar.
Yeah, good lineage.
But she's out now. Your Ohio boys took her out.
Yep.
Where's that Ohio team from?
Who's left?
Hamilton,
Who's left in the
Hamilton,
US
Ohio.
Hamilton, yeah.
Toledo.
Davenport, Iowa, and Henderson, Nevada. It looks like.
Interesting. I believe that was the team that knocked out Irma last year, or maybe in Las Vegas. I know one of those areas. But yeah,
Hmm.
I have.
That sounds
I
good.
always love the Little League World Series. That's a special event, special tournament to cover, and
Yeah, it's cool.
there's
fun to
something
watch.
magical about seeing the kids play. It's you can't
I
really.
got to go
replicate that.
there. I got to go there when I was 16, and it was an absolute joy and thrill. For sure, I have one
Fantastic.
more. I've got two more, but I know somebody else is going to take one that I have. The other one is that you guys might not know is that Mike Greenberg celebrated his 30th
30th.
anniversary with ESPN today.
I can't believe he's been there for 30 years.
Isn't that something?
That's crazy.
With Mike and Mike in the morning all those years ago.
Yes.
I mean, it's been a
Yep.
good 25 that I was listening to Mike and
Mike and Mike.
Yep.
Yes, indeed.
That's always
He's
good.
had a great run, and I know he's got a lot more in the tank. He's
Oh my
he's
God,
one of
yeah.
my favorites
Yeah.
of all time there at the worldwide leader. So congrats to Greeny for sure.
Yep. 30 years. That is pretty crazy.
That's a long run.
Incredible.
Max, what do you got, buddy?
Well, my Atlanta Braves are playing the LA Dodgers right now. It is a tie ball game in the 7th inning. 5 apiece for these two teams. It came down to the 9th inning last night. For some reason, when these two teams play, it is prime time every time they play. But I
would
found
love to
something.
see it. I would love to see two teams play in October. I would love to see it.
Yeah, it would be good. Here's the funniest thing. So when the swap of Matt Olson becoming the first baseman for the Braves and Freddie Freeman becoming the first baseman for the LA Dodgers, in that time since then, the Atlanta Braves record against the Dodgers in regular season games is 29-3.
Wow.
Wow.
Oh my.
Wow.
Think about that one.
Domination.
Good.
29-3 against the LA Dodgers since then, which is actually quite mind-blowing, being that the Dodgers have been pretty much the kings of
word for it.
baseball for the last 2 years. That is pretty spectacular, but it's a tie ball game right now. Braves looked really good last night, so hopefully they're getting back on the right foot because they had a terrible road trip. So hopefully they can figure their stuff out. Pitching's going to be an issue for them come playoff time, but we'll cross that bridge when we get there. But I want to go towards Cleveland because Marcus may be able to help me out, figure this one out. Why on the earth did the Browns think it was a good idea to name Deshaun Watson their number one?
Well,
Why'd they sign him? I mean,
$230 million guaranteed, yeah. I mean, that would be the only reason they'd start him because from what I've seen.
I honestly thought that he was going to get the starting job, and the main reason was because I still wasn't expecting the Cleveland Browns to win much, and if they faltered bad enough, which they always seem to do, you just stick Shador Sanders in there and realize that you might win 5 or 6 games. And,
Yeah, but Shador Sanders may not want to be there right now because if I'm Shador Sanders,
Who
I'm
wants
thinking,
to be there?
well, no, but I'm thinking
you got guys going back to college because they
Yeah,
don't
but-
want to be there.
But here's the thing. I think when Shador came in as a starting quarterback midway through last season, I didn't think he played terrible. I mean, he played like a rookie. I mean, that's a given. But he wasn't terrible and better than most quarterbacks I've seen come from the Cleveland Browns. So, I mean, like, you would think he would have been, like, I expected him to be the starting quarterback, but then you got to remember, you can't just sit a player who's getting $230 million guaranteed.
And the fact of the matter is as well that when he's healthy, Deshaun Watson is a good quarterback. And he's a veteran.
No, he's
It's been a long time since we've seen him be a good player.
That's my thing.
He's not a good person. He's not a good person. That's all.
Like,
I'm saying.
here's
I'm taking time out. I'm taking the whole human element out of it because
Right.
we
Yeah,
know
that's
he
fine.
is not
We
a good
all-
person.
we all.
But
No,
here's the
I'm
thing.
not. I
Taking
wasn't. No,
that
I'm
out.
saying. I'm obviously. I mean, I'm not. Oh, I'm not going to comment anymore. Go ahead.
Yeah, but here's my thing though. Forget the human side of things. We all know what kind of person he is.
Correct.
But as a player, I can't remember the last time he had a good season of
He
football.
hasn't been relevant for
Look,
quite
I
some
got
time.
love for Deshaun Watson. He was a Clemson Tiger, and I will forever love him during his time as a Clemson Tiger. But outside of his time with the
glory
Houston
days.
Texans, which was shorter than it should have been, since he's come to Cleveland, I can't think of a good season of him with
No, it
Cleveland.
hasn't.
He's barely played.
He had a couple
He's
of good
barely
years
played.
in Houston, but
It's a
after
waste
that,
of $230 million by the Cleveland Browns, but
When he
that's
was
kind of the
already
usual
damaged
with them.
goods when they signed
I
him. That was
really
the
don't
crazy
understand
thing.
what they are
And
doing
nobody
right
else
now.
wanted anything to do with him.
They gave up 3
in
first-round
quarterback
picks for him.
purgatory right now.
Crazy.
It's just a terrible.
Quarterback
It was a terrible
purgatory. I don't know
decision.
what's going on, and it's been that way ever since the early 2000s. Honestly,
And before that,
Cleveland's
well,
never-
I'm not
They
going
came
there.
back in
maybe
99.
late 90s, early
Yeah.
2000s.
I think
Marcus is
Cleveland's
on
never
to it.
had. Maybe had one blip where they had a good playoff run a couple years ago, but other than that, it has
And-
been yeah.
It seems like around every 7 years they were really a pretty good football team. 2007 they made the playoffs.
That's true.
2003 they made the playoffs. 07 they made the playoffs. I think around 2014 they were
Yeah,
on the
and
cusp.
23
That was the
They were battling Kansas City.
the
couple
Brian
years ago.
Hoyer. 2014 was the Brian Hoyer era.
Yeah, that's
and
right. I forgot about
They
that.
were a good team.
But
Not a
they
great
had
team,
some
but a
good
good
players.
team. And then, of course, in 2021, they took on Kansas City in the playoffs and got
But
beat. And
I
they've
think
they
been
were
terrible since.
11. They were they were
Yeah,
right there.
Nick Chubb was
They really were.
Here's the other thing for me with the Cleveland Browns. What make matters worse is you guarantee him $230 million, but you knew what was coming with all the allegations that he had,
Right.
that he was bringing with him. Plus, you gave away 3 first-round picks just to get him. That's what makes it even worse. Is you gave away a future for Cleveland for a guy that has barely played for them.
Oh,
It's one of the
didn't
worst
make
trades
sense
ever.
then, and it doesn't make sense now.
The
But I think
management
Marcus is right.
the management is just terrible.
I think the
Yeah.
plan is okay. Well, we've invested so much in this guy. We're going to start him to start the
You
season.
gotta start
And if it goes well, great. If it doesn't, and we're staring at 1-6, then we go
You
to
stick Shador in.
standards,
And-
and we get a high draft pick.
But here's the thing: is Shador the long-term answer though for the Browns?
Well,
I don't think they know.
Well,
I don't
but here's
think they
the
know.
thing. If you perform badly enough this year to get the number 1 pick, and you figure out Shadur's not your guy long term, then you go get Arch Manning or whomever emerges as the top quarterback.
Exactly.
of the
Right.
draft.
Well, yeah,
Here's-
Falcons need to pick up someone.
Here's the bottom
Yeah,
line,
17
guys.
quarterbacks already.
It doesn't matter who's going to start for this team at quarterback, in my opinion.
They're not going to make
They're
it through the season.
still
They're
going
not.
to
No,
be
Yeah,
they're not.
lucky. They're going to be lucky to win 6 games.
Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah.
They're still going
And
to
the reason-
stink.
The reason I brought this whole thing up is because not only are you a Cleveland sports fan, Marcus, but I have Cleveland sports history in my mom's side of the family, because I have a lot of family members that are Cleveland Browns fans, and they have all been texting me this week asking me why on earth would they start Deshaun Watson? And I had to try to explain it to them in the best way I knew possible, which was this is a long-term plan. You start him, he plays like crap. You put Shador Sanders in, you tank the season, then you get the number 1 draft pick. I mean, that's really the plan here, right?
I could
I mean,
see
Exactly.
that happening for sure.
Yeah.
and it's frustrating
Browns
if you're a Cleveland Browns
Yeah.
fan, because this feels like it's a never-ending merry-go-round of just complete and utter crap from management who don't know what they're doing. But
Thank you very much, Garmin
it is what it
policy.
is.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's
Your
but
policy
anyway,
stunk.
Anyway, the other thing I was going to say is rest in peace to the legend Dolly Parton.
Yep.
Oh my gosh, I know. And then
You know,
Tim
the
Curry
funny-
today.
Curry.
Curry as well. Yeah.
Rough run.
Yeah, right.
Waiting on
But
a
you know,
third to
the thing I've been noticing, and this is what makes Dolly Parton so special, is people aren't remembering her for the awards she has. They're remembering her for the human she was,
Yep.
the person she was, and that's what makes her so special, because her personality, her character, who she was as a person. There's not many people I can think of better in this world that lived like
And
Dolly Parton did.
When you talk about all
Yeah.
the artists that she has inspired, like Miley Cyrus, Sabrina Carpenter, and others who have been so influential in their careers. But she has been such a great mentor and an incredible ambassador for the music industry. And I don't,
Great actor as
I'm trying
well.
to think of
Yeah.
great actor, but trying to think of just people who are beloved more than she
Oh,
she
right.
was.
Yeah.
And I remember when she did the Thanksgiving Day halftime show a couple years ago in Dallas.
Yeah,
And
that's right.
Yeah.
77 years old.
Yeah.
Incredible.
Remarkable.
Working it too.
Yeah.
The other thing I was going to say with Dolly Parton is I love a lot of the movies she did. There's
Yeah.
one in her later years, not long ago, a movie called Joyful Noise, which I think it's one of my favorite movies. It has her, Queen Latifah, Keke Palmer in it. Really, really good movie. So if you've never watched that, for those of you who are watching, please feel free to watch that. It's a hilarious but really, really good movie.
All right. Good stuff.
Absolutely.
Yeah,
All
I'm wearing
right,
my Heart Song Lodge shirt today.
I still haven't been to Dollywood. That's on my
it's
list.
amazing. It's my favorite theme park.
Also, Hayden Panettiere also.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yes.
Rough,
Yes.
rough.
And I loved what she did for shows and stuff like that. Nashville, if anyone's ever watched the show Nashville, it's a
Heroes.
fantastic
Save
show.
the cheerleader, save the world.
Cheerleader, yeah, that's right. I like she's done a lot of
career.
things, and she's been in the acting world since she was a baby. Like she used to do commercials as like an 11-month-old, like so she's been around the block. But yeah, passing away in Greenville of all places too. I knew she had family out there.
Oh dang!
Yeah,
and she was only 36,
Yes,
which is
that
just
so
young.
Which the other thing is Dolly Parton has a lot of family in Greenville as well, which is
Oh, really?
interesting coincidence.
Well,
Yeah.
yes,
Did Tim Curry have family in Greenville? 'Cause that would
I
make
bet
that
Tim
the
Curry
top
had family everywhere.
All right, what do you got, Wesker?
All right, I got some big news in the National Football League. After many tries and many failures, the Pro Bowl is finally dead. The NFL
Goodbye.
announced
Good
today,
riddance.
Thank goodness.
there will be no
So what are
more
they
Pro
gonna do
Bowl or
now?
Pro Bowl games. It will just be a list of the best players in the league, and that'll be all. So
Fair enough. I'm okay with
you
that.
kind of saw it coming. They tried everything, and it didn't work.
They did.
Yeah. Yeah, when you
I
had
think it really went
Shador
downhill.
Sanders as a Pro Bowl quarterback last year, I think that was kind of the death knell.
But I think it really went downhill when they moved it from Hawaii to wherever they moved it. Because I kind of liked it
From
when it was in
Hawaii
Hawaii.
to Orlando, and I could not agree more.
Yeah, the
That
trip to
was the
Hawaii was the
beginning
only reason to
of
accept
the
That was the
end.
incentive for the players.
Yeah, but they tore that stadium down. That stadium was in such shambles. That's the problem.
Yeah, they when they decided first off to move it, and then they decided which was a stupid decision in my opinion, to have it before the Super Bowl.
Right.
No,
Yeah, that's
you
stupid.
play it after the Super Bowl. So if there's a Super Bowl competing quarterback that is deserving of playing in your All-Star game, he
understand
can
why,
play.
But yeah, it's just then they find
Made
like
no
all these
sense to
replacement
me.
players, and like does the Pro Bowl mean as much if you're
It
getting
became
like
like
a
tag football
mediocre
too.
quarterback to get?
Yeah, they
Well,
did so many different things. The
do you
skills
think any other
competition.
sports
They
will
had
follow
the
suit?
fantasy draft, all that, and
I tell you what, I
then
think
the
that
dodgeball.
I seriously think that the NBA
Yeah.
is right along with the
That's what I was
NFL.
thinking.
That it is coming time where the NBA does the same thing.
Yep.
Get rid of the All Stars?
The best
The-
thing about the
the-
NBA is
the-
used to be the 3-point contest and
Three-point
the
and the
slam
dunk contest. The dunk
but now
contest
no
was king
stars
back
do
in the
those
day.
anymore.
True.
Yeah,
So what's the
it's
The dunk contest is
it's starting to
no-
really
no,
lose
it
its luster.
used to be much
Zach
watched
Levine
TV.
and Aaron Gordon kind of
But,
ruined the dunk contest.
Well,
And
that
they
was the
don't
last
play any
good one. That was the
defense
last
in
good one.
game.
Yeah.
But I think everyone can agree that the only All-Star game worth watching is baseball. That's the
Baseball.
only,
Yeah.
I agree.
Yeah.
This year's All-Star game wasn't much of a game in my opinion, but it's always great to watch it regardless.
Yeah, but
And
the home run derby was something to watch.
Yeah, it
At
was.
least
This
that was
year's home
something to
run
watch.
derby on Netflix actually I
was
forgot that it was
fantastic.
on.
Although the
and then I
game wasn't great,
put it
I
back
thought the
on.
All-Star Game broadcast was great. Like, I thought
Yes.
they
It
did some
was.
really cool stuff. Having the pitcher and catcher mic'd up was incredible.
That's the best. I
Cease is
love
telling
that.
you what he's going to throw next and stuff. That was super cool.
Yeah, but I
the
think-
pitching was too good.
But I think, I think the home run derby, like them bringing it back to having the outs and stuff like that,
Oh, that's
I
great.
thought was the best thing they could
Well, they did
possibly
swing.
do.
It was swing.
And if that was Rob Manfred's idea, which I doubt it was, but if it was, that's the best thing he's ever done.
No question.
Well, I'm gonna work on him. By the way, I also love how they do back to the Lily Brook series. I love how they do the Lily Classic at Williamsport, where they have
Yes.
Major League
That
Baseball teams
broadcast
competing there.
was aces.
Great
Yeah.
game too.
Yep.
Yeah.
And the handshake, the handshake they do post game every year. It's great.
Yeah.
Yep.
It
Needs
just
to
and
be
then
more
finally-
came back to being at Cooperstown and all the kids, all the teams being there for the championship game on the last night and like the vibes. That's what it took me back to, except they hit
Yes.
a big league game, which is even cooler. And the way they did the interviews
And-
where they'd have like a kid on with his favorite player, like that was amazing.
Right.
That
Yeah.
was fantastic.
Oh, that's
It was great.
Yeah.
I love that. I love that. I'm glad that they have continued to do that. That Little League Classic, that one in the Field of Dreams as well. I think those two
Yes.
games have been really fantastic for
Yeah, they
baseball.
took a few years off from the Field of Dreams, but good to see them
Yeah.
back.
Yeah, they were doing
that one.
construction work. They were trying to build that field up so where it
yeah.
could maintain.
And
Yeah,
the
I
I
last
just
year they
noticed
did
it
like
looked
a-
quite a bit different a
Yeah.
couple of weeks back when they
Yeah,
played
they
that
did
game.
work on it.
Yeah.
All right.
And then my other parting thought, very interesting and very applicable to the Low Country as well, because of our yearly tournaments in Harbor Town. PGA Tour just announced that they are going to have a revolutionary new playoff format starting in 2028.
Yes, I saw that.
And it will be a match play competition at rotating venues as when they get to the Tour Championship. So they will start the 90-man tournament, the top 90 in the points list. And then the top 32 after that will move on to a 2-week match play tournament to
Right.
decide the Tour
I
champion.
love that idea.
Yeah.
I love that idea. I think
I
that's
like
great.
I enjoy match play. We had the match play for a few years there, right? And that was really good. The WGC match play thing was awesome.
Yep.
Yeah.
I'm all for that. I love match play. We should definitely see more of that. So I'm good with that. Cool.
And it's great that they're doing it in the playoffs and not at like a just
Yeah,
a
like
regular
these is just
season
a normal
event.
regular season, like early spring, where not many people were watching. But
Not even it's not even just a 1 week, it's 2 weeks of match
Right,
play.
it's
I
2
think
weeks.
that's fantastic.
And it's that time. I think it's like a period in August where, it's people will be scrolling over the weekend on the TV, and what do you know? There's some big match play championship golf going on. So, I think it's a great move by the tour, and will be interesting to see how that will affect, just the entire PGA's tour landscape. Because I think they're moving things around. They're getting rid of some tournaments. They're, but we'll kind of see how that will affect the landscape of. And I think the players, from what I'm seeing, Rory said it was definitely different, but it's going to be cool. Scotty's saying that he's excited for it. He didn't like the starting strokes. He didn't like the format that they have now.
I don't think anybody did.
Yeah.
Yeah. So I think this is a much better way to determine the champion.
I'm just intrigued to see where the RBC Heritage will sit when they do this whole new outlook, starting in 2028, I think it is, with the whole new series,
New schedule.
3 levels and whatnot. I'm intrigued to see where the
Right.
RBC Heritage will be put.
Next
Hopefully,
year,
it's
there's
only at
gonna be-
top level, but
Yeah.
So,
I thought it was
yeah.
So I
next
do know that they revealed some parts about the 2027 schedule here. The RBC Heritage, as I scroll down here, I believe it's still the same week after the Masters, 15th to the 18th. Are the signature events done? Is it back to the cut this year? Because I'm trying
no,
to-
I think it's still
Okay.
considered a signature event, at least for this
Okay.
one, and then the next
this
one,
next
obviously,
season. Okay.
everything's
Okay.
going to change. So
Okay. Yeah. Interesting.
Yeah, I'm not sure, honestly.
Yeah,
I
I'll have to-
thought it was for next year, but maybe I'm wrong.
Let's see. Signature events are in italics, Yes, so Arby Series will be another signature
Okay,
event.
good.
So same thing as it'll be the
Deal.
same format as it's been the last couple of years. Harbortown the week after the Masters, April 15th through the 18th, 2027.
All right. Well, I had all my parting thoughts taken. So I'll tell you
Right.
about an upcoming fishing tournament. Yeah, fishing. JP2 doing a little
Oh, yes.
fundraiser tournament, the Inshore Slam. It's going to be
The
September
Inshore
19th through
Slam.
26th. It's a week-long tournament. You're going to compete for the Inshore Slam, which the categories will be redfish, flounder, and trout. And they're going to have prizes for individual species and youth anglers. $100 for adults to enter, high school students and JP2 alumni $25. So it's going to be a big fundraiser
awesome.
for JP2 if you want to get out and do some fishing. How about that?
I love that
Yeah.
idea.
Yeah, it's pretty
Love
cool.
that.
I mean, everybody does a golf tournament. They're doing a fishing tournament. I like it.
I think that's
Which is
unique.
huge. That's huge
Yeah.
here.
Yeah,
I
That's
think
a
fishing's
great idea. Love that.
still a pretty cool thing, and
I love
I don't
fishing.
think many people have done it as much compared to golf. I mean, I still think there's like a good amount of groups of people who have done it, but I think it's
Yeah.
a kind of a cool, different thing. So,
Yeah,
good luck to those people who are organizing.
dangerous
and
business
competing.
around here because
Yeah.
get a fish on, Gator's liable to come try to get it.
Yes.
That's what happened to me the last time I went fishing around here, and
Correct.
I remember. I
Gator
remember
hooked on.
they rarely ever do it now, but I remember the days when ESPN used to show like big fishing tournaments.
Bassmasters.
Bass fishing, yeah.
Bassmaster Classic.
Bill Dance.
Yeah.
Bill
Yeah.
Dance with his Tennessee hat on. Yeah. All right, boys. Well, we got it in just about an hour. Got you ready for tomorrow night's games. Hampton County at Wilson and Beaufort hosting Whale Branch. And then we'll be back tomorrow night to preview the rest of them for you and let you know how those two go. So that's going to do it for tonight. For Marcus Walsh, Max Araj, and Wes Kerr, I'm Justin Jarrett. Till tomorrow night, go Loco.